Professor Andrew Clark has agreed to meet with me 2 days later, in front of Luxborn's public library. He has other commitments, but being a long-time family friend has its perks. I have my parents' connections to thank for that. Of course, I'm not the sort to impose on him often, but the situation is, well, it's not entirely bad, although it does require calling in a few favors from friends like him. Without his signature, I won't be able to gain access to the library's restricted section. We're going to figure out so much weird stuff now, I'm sure. Oh, I'm so excited. Great, okay, let's do this. If I want to get more in-depth information on the Ermengarde Mansion, that is, not simply what they choose to show to the general public. As much as I hate to admit it, there's always something people censor, and whatever it is, I won't ever find it in the general section. Yeah, that makes sense. It has to be what they're keeping there here beyond the public eye. The thought of that alone makes me antsy. Thankfully, I don't have to brood over it. The wait for the professor doesn't last long. He never did enjoy making people wait. Likewise, he dislikes people who are tardy. Hello. He's a new face. He arrives 5 minutes after I do, greeting me with a kind of smile and casual wave of his hand. I haven't seen him in so long, but it appears he hasn't changed much. His familiar presence alone is enough for a fond smile to spread across my face.
Professor Andrew!
Rebecca, didn't I say long ago you can drop the professor?
You know I can't possibly do that. Even if I can. It feels disrespectful to call you by your name alone.
Both you and Ashton never listen to this old man. Kids these days.
All right. But just for today, since you're doing me a huge favor, Andrew.
I guess you simply can't have it all, even at this old age. But pleasantries aren't what we're here for, yes? You mentioned you needed a permit.
Yes, sir, if that's okay with you.
More than fine. Anything in pursuit of knowledge, as they say.
He hands me the permit without further prompting. And just like he promised, he's also written a recommendation after his signature. This is more than enough to get me to those files. Great. I made her a small thanks before slipping it into my pocket. Although when I look back up, his brows are furrowed, the very face of curiosity. Not surprising, considering how vague I've been during our little talk over the phone. Right there and there, I've decided to tell him, if he ever asks. Maybe not all of it, but stuff he needs to know. It's the least I can do to thank him. As expected, true to his inquisitive nature, he asks.
If you don't mind, though, I know you've always been an eager learner. But may I know what in the restricted section that piqued your curiosity?
It's the Ermengarde Mansion, sir.
He's quick to raise an eyebrow at that, and for a while I fear he'll take the slip of paper back. Is there something in what I said?
The ones they have out in the general isn't enough?
I'm, hoping for a more in-depth read, sir. More about the history and the people who once lived there. The general section doesn't have anything much on that.
Oh, I see. Well, you certainly aren't the first one to be enamored with that place. It doesn't shock me. The architecture is admirable, and the urban legends are something to talk about.
I think enamored might be a little too much to describe our interest in it. But I have to agree. The mansion is beautiful, even with the renovations. They kept the stained glass windows, too. They are magnificent.
Oh, you've seen it.
I was there for a few hours to attend a housewarming party. The invitation was for my parents, but they couldn't make it. My mum used to work as a private tutor for the Evans. Hannah Wright?
Ah, I know of her. Her husband, too. Who doesn't? Luxborn's most popular couple.
Something falls behind his eyes, the warmth in them suddenly gone. Like he's reliving a painful, distant memory and is seeing it play right in front of him. It disappears almost as soon as it surfaces, but that look has unsettled something in me.
Is something the matter?
Nothing much. But you know, you're already like a daughter to me. So if you could, do be careful with the friends you make.
Yeah, I've already done that mistake, you know, because look at this. Look at this. I'm so going to get, like, killed or something, I swear. Why am I doing this?
Is this about the rights, sir?
Just a friendly advice from an old man. Don't think much about it. Anyway, I have to leave now. Can't miss my weekly serving of bear claws. Say hi to your parents at the detective inspector for me, will you? I wish you luck with all that research.
I will. Thanks for this, Andrew.
Andrew gives my shoulder a light squeeze, the gesture a younger me has always appreciated. He quickly crosses the street after. I watch him until he disappears behind the door to a cafe, until the doubts swimming inside my head finds a moment to rest. Whatever his business is with the rights isn't anything I should concern myself about. But somehow, in the grand scheme of things now, all of it feels oddly relevant. The how, though, I've yet to find out. Like, yeah, those pictures, I'm telling you, like, they look exactly like the couple from years ago, like hundreds of years ago. I wouldn't be surprised if they are, like, freaking vampires. Or probably not, but still, it's so weird. And I'm hoping the library will give me the answers I want this time. On a gloomy Sunday morning, the library is especially empty. The second floor in particular. I've always considered this place to be a sanctuary, a respite away from the hubbub of the city. As a child, I grew up reading books here, spending hours here to no end, poring over the pages, living out fantasies in my head until my parents called me home. Very relatable. You have no idea how relatable that is. I'm sure that's true for many of us. Now, it feels nothing like it. The silence is smothering. Suffocating. Was it smothering? Suffocating. Even with how clean they were kept, the microfiche room, I don't even know. How the entire small of it lacks a speck of dust or clutter, breathing as I struggled for air. Not far into my stay, I begin to long for the noise outside, and perhaps as a way to calm this unease, I start to hum a tone. Imagine that. I knew it! Why of all things it has to be that silly nursery rhyme? I'm not an inkling. That's because Kylie is singing that song all the time and is creeping us out with that song. That's why. It does its job, however. It fills the lull with something far less awkward, far less deafening, and that is enough for a distraction. I have business here. No time for silly daydreams, only important work to tend to. And if there is a possibility of it being fruitless, by some means, it feels like I have to do it. If not for me, then for the people who has been affected by this, what do we even call this? A haunting? A Halloween prank gone wrong? A curse? If Isabella were here, what would she say? Will she panic? Would she be angry and only listen to her now? It all stems from that one moment in the movie house, doesn't it? We could have avoided this had we only taken her warnings to heart. One stupid mistake is all it took to send our normal lives in a downward spiral. Frankly, I'm no longer sure if I'm angry at myself for it, or at the universe for throwing us into this mess. But we can only make do what little we have, and that's exactly what I'm doing. Going here might not be the right decision, but it's a start.
A good start.
It doesn't take much time for me to find what I need. Here we go again, that word. A microfiche? Of old newspapers, long kept in special storage cabinets at the far end of the restricted section. The year is 1620s and beyond. Before the city of Luxbourne even existed in the records, when the mansion had just been built, and Elmslem is nothing more but a small sleepy hamlet near a river. A lot of pieces are missing. Of course, the important stuff is obviously going to be missing. days, sometimes several constructive weeks without any records remaining. Often it goes on for years. Troublesome. But as it is, I'm lucky enough to find anything at all, considering how far I'm looking back. Can't be picky now. Can't waste time mulling over what record keepers of the old could have done to make this a breeze for me.
I can still work with this.
The faint whir of the stop it. Microfiche. Gosh, I need to look up that word. Machine keeps me company as I go over each slide, each image, hoping for something that goes beyond what the local lore knows. There are snippets, little mentions of the family that once settled in the house here and there, the usual singing of praises for the couple who helped brought of what was once a tiny settlement to a buzzing town. Nothing substantial, nothing I didn't know before. It continues on like this for a good while, until I come by the years after their deaths. The people of Anselm might have loved Lord William and Lady Elizabeth Ermengarde, mourned their passing, and held them in high esteem in the years after. Okay, so they did die, or did they fake their deaths? Just a question. But it was their daughter that was remembered fondly by the townspeople. If her parents built this town, Lady Charlotte was the one who made it prosper. She was the one who killed herself, as far as we know, right? But is she like that lady? Does she have black hair? Can we see a picture of Lady Charlotte? Or is she the one who is in the glass, painted in the glass? Is she the blonde? I don't know. I want to see a picture of Lady Charlotte. Remarkable, considering it was a period of recovery from a bout of plague that killed half the town's population, including her parents. A plague? Buried history. Isn't that a very famous thing for, like, vampires start? Wait, I'm gonna look this up right now. When did, like, freaking Dracula? When did he get, like... Oh, okay, it was way older. I mean, it was more... Wait. When did he exist? Seems to have been... Ooh. It was the 15th century. So, 1400. I guess? So this was... Dracula was way before. I can't help it. I don't think it's actually vampires. I just thought it was a funny thought, right? Free at last. Error puts a stop to local slave trade. Oh, that's good. It's surprising, though. Apparently, her time also marked more than superficial changes to the place. She moved things, changed laws, altered old customs and traditions. It does look like that blonde lady in the glass in the pictures. So what's up with that other woman? Hey, wait a minute. That could be her, right? That could actually be her. Couldn't it? It probably is. I mean, since this is the storyline of, like, what happened to her, I suppose. Altered old customs and traditions. If they were done in a woman's whimsy, it doesn't say, but she seems capable enough for more than that. The gist of it is the town she rebuilt is what eventually grew to become Luxbourne City, while the nearby Anselm village remained as it was, a relic of the old. A frown swiftly forms in my face.
So, why is there a need to hide this?
One by one, I try to recall every lesson I've gone through, every book, paper, and journal I've read. None of those ever mentioned this. It was because someone took her glory, I suppose? Maybe? Or like what happened to her after? It's always the lord and the lady of the house. Their enduring child, always an afterthought to those anecdotes. The one who always took her life in the end. Exactly. Like, why did they... It's because she didn't take her life. She didn't do it. She obviously didn't do it. Did she also get killed? Maybe. Never someone who restored a town from the brink of collapse or brought new ideas to it. Is it because she's a woman?
That pisses me off.
Ah, that sucks. Granted, not everything is sunshine and rainbows. Not all aspects of her can be considered admirable. But this is history. Some parts are bound to naturally delve into unpleasant territory, whether I like it or not. Witch hunts, for example, became common near the end of her life. Did she get witched burned? I'm just assuming everything is about this lady haunting us, obviously, but come on. Hey, that would make kind of sense, though, if she's actually a witch, like legit a witch. And she's coming back from the dead. Well, you know that witches didn't really exist. I mean, they weren't witches, they were just women who discovered stuff that, like, was not okay. Because they were... they made, like, good stuff for your health, like, salves and potions stuff, right? Anyways, they were good about, they knew what they were doing when it came to, like, benefits of the nature, and, yeah, they were considered witches. Poor women, jeez, sick. Which would have been completely unremarkable and might have gone to become a mere footnote in history if it didn't involve Lady Charlotte and the various slaves she saved. Oh, really? It caused quite a stir, enough to leave almost a week's worth of clippings. The girl was eventually burned, condemned by an entire town. Exactly, yeah, that's the lady that is haunting us. She got burned. Which is why her, like, she looks so terrible, because she's been burned. Like, that's why her skin looks the way it does. At the word of Lady Charlotte alone. But this doesn't really have anything to do with this curse, does it? Wait, did Lady Charlotte burn her? What? Did I read that right? Yeah. Why did you burn her? You freed her and then you burned her? Holy shit. Unless that woman fooling us and the slave are the same person. A tale of revenge? How cliché. However, with the lack of accurate photographs, it's impossible to tell. Maybe if I squint, the illustration would start resembling her? But it may feel it doesn't work that way. It shouldn't work that way. I'll be the laughingstock of the community.
This isn't going anywhere.
It's her, though. Mentally exhausted, I take a careful step away from the screen, pressing a palm to my tired eyes. The lack of ample light in this area doesn't help. A headache already threatens to form at the back of my head, yet I'm nowhere near figuring things out. This is simply too much to take in all at once.
I should have asked for someone's help.
Ashton. Now I'm at a dead end. I start gathering everything around me and placing them back in their respective envelopes for storage. The motion's no longer new after volunteering here a number of times. I didn't make much mess anyway, considering the lack of materials available to begin with. I'll have to look at somewhere else. The where remains unknown, though. But just as I'm about to slip the last of the slides in, something catches my attention. My hand pauses. The microfiche, I'm just gonna say that it's probably completely wrong. The microfiche halfway through its protective sleep. This is one of the few I've set aside without taking a careful look at it. It seems like a gossip column at the first glance, but upon closer look... I select back to the reader, gently turning the dials in search of the page. It takes some time, but once the image becomes clear... Oh... Like, it's them! What is this? This is so weird. You know? They must have had this drawing commissioned for this announcement. Which is why it's like it's kept a secret, because people can't like see that they are here. I guess. What's going on? I don't doubt it. The details are far more intricate. Their likeliness likely closer to how they might have appeared at the time. They're both recognizable this way, closer to those paintings I've seen in the mansion. However, it's the man standing beside her, Edward Godfrey, according to the article that caught my attention previously. Her first cousin and eventually her fiance. Ugh. But yeah, that was how they did it back in the days. Yeah. Like, even my freaking favorite writer married his cousin, Edgar Allan Poe. But yeah, that was way back in the days. Maybe it's the posture, the manner in which he holds himself. Or maybe it's the shape of his eyes, though I can't be too certain about that until I've gotten a better reference. Nevertheless, there is a resemblance. He looks eerily like... My head snaps up, glaring at whoever's drowning in the floor above. Any day, I'd march upstairs and reprimand whoever it is.
This is a library, for heaven's sake.
I know, right? But now isn't the time. I've gotten what I needed. Without wasting another minute, I hit the machine's print button for a copy of the page, while my other hand moves to put everything back into storage. Are they vampires? like, what? A ragged exhale slips from me. A relief, perhaps? Or maybe this is already exhaustion. Which is why they got, like... He's got, like, this classified business going on, like, shady stuff, because he's a vampire. Yeah, I don't know where I got that from. I'm just getting really ahead of myself here, I guess. It could just be related, I guess. Regardless, soon I'm closing my eyes as I wait for the printer to finish, if only to stave off a headache building up from everything. Sometime I even begin humming the same song again for comfort. Despite my doubts about this, despite all the tension in my shoulders. This may be a small find, but at least I can start somewhere. We can start somewhere. There's a way out of this. I know it. The printer sputters to a halt. However, its sound isn't what makes me snap my eyes open. Oh, great. Don't kill Rebecca! No, I want to read the journal instead. Oh, great, it gets worse. With the help of Professor Andrew Clark, Rebecca was able to gain access to Luxborn's library's restricted section. What a great timing to start reading a journal. In there, she discovered numerous accounts about the Ermengardes, all hidden from the public. Her research was interrupted, however, when... feeling a chilly brush of air behind my back. No, I feel like it might be game over for her now, unfortunately, because I was befriending freaking Luke. It was just like how with Marianne, when you think about it, because I befriended Hannah. Oh, I shouldn't have gotten friends with Luke. What was I thinking? No, because that's how Mariana got into the prison cell, I'm assuming. I thought I was doing so good. I was doing so good up until Zachary, and now I just like ruined everything. No, Rebecca, you're almost like full with Luke. I'm so sorry. A feeling, a chilly brush of air behind my back, brief enough for something sickening to suddenly lodge itself in my throat while I take in my surroundings. It's that suffocating sensation again, creeping to every part of me, crawling under my skin, draining me little by little of any strength. From that day in the mansion, from that brief moment at the school, without delay, I grab the papers and make a quick beeline for the door. Oh, wait, okay. My whole body freezes.
What are you doing, Miss Pink?
No. Rebecca, I'm so sorry. I didn't want to kill you. I hold my breath, not daring to make any noise. For a little while, only the sound of papers crumbling under my grasp fills the room. The excitement from earlier gone instantly, replaced by a cold, seeping dread spreading throughout my limbs. But more than the fear is the anger. It pains me to hear her using my own student's voice against me. More than once, I believe it was really her. She has no right.
Why don't you play with me?
Although she hasn't made a move, if there isn't a wall behind me, I would probably take a step back. Anything to put a distance between us, no matter how small, as long as I'm out of her reach. She's really fast though, but I steel myself. Because if I do fall back, turn away from her, I'll be left with no way out. I'm not dying here. Exactly, we're not gonna die. Right, if we got this, unless this is like already the game over in a way.
You think you scam me?
Miss Pink, don't be so rude. I'm waiting.
I'm not afraid of you, you spook! This is one Scotswoman. You aren't getting into an early grave without a fight! Come at me!
I expected she'll lunge, prove to me what a monster she is. Instead, all she gives me is a smile, twisted and gnarled. It's as if time has crawled to a stop at the sight of it. A split-second decision. Before I know it, my body shifts. Eyes closing in anticipation, hand grabbing whatever is solid enough on a nearby table and hurling it at her. I don't bother looking if whatever I hit its mark. I run as fast as my legs can carry me, despite my heart threatening to burst out of my chest. But in this maze of bookshelves, with the whole place almost void of people. No! Is there even a place safe enough I can escape to? No! Crap. I mean, you usually do try to like get out because head upstairs just feels like she's going to get trapped. What if the door is locked? But now that I think about it, like, so, Isabella. Look, Isabella, she would manage to survive when she hid under like under a desk, I think, something like that, table at least. But then again, she had probably not even seen her. What? I don't know. It just seems like the most logical option is to head for the door. But yeah, what if the door again is locked? So, but I want to go for the door. Like, that's my gut instinct, to just go to the door. I guess. It feels like it's gonna be a trap. but it is my gut instinct, so I suppose I should follow it. If there's one, it is out of this room, out of this place, as far away as anyone can get from her. I can think about the rest of what I can do after I'm outside, when there are other people I can ask for help, when she's not chasing after me like this. There's no hesitation in my steps as I reach for a restricted section's door, head downstairs, barrel straight for the library's exit, towards safety in desperate bid for my life. Library rules be damned. I can no longer hear her behind me, but I'm not taking any chances. A breath almost escapes me as I near the door. No, please open a little more. When out of nowhere, a library car carries from a blind corner and slams to my sides. My back hits the floor with a hard thud, the impact completely knocking the breath out of me. A copper tang of blood gradually spreads over my tongue as I fight to get my bearings back. I force myself to move, and with excruciating pain coursing through my limbs, the exit's almost there. If only I can. there's no moments respite. No! No! I don't want this! No! No! Can I go back? No, I shouldn't. That would be wrong of me. The next thing I know, there's heavy weight atop me and cold to slide around my neck. Tight like a vice, pressing, closing in, leaving me gasping for air. From my blurred vision, I can only make out the hateful gleam despite her eyes as she looms over my body and her grip on my throat grows tighter. Desperation kicks in. My nails dig into her wrists as I struggle against her firm grip, trying to pry her fingers away.
Let go. Let me go.
Oh. Wait, what? Keep the slider. I don't get it. What? I didn't even read like the text because I was so I didn't even get to read the whole thing. I was just so surprised. No! I saw something about the mouse. I don't know what I was supposed to do. No, I don't get a game over so I can restart. Too strong, or hold on. Me is too strong. My lungs begin to ache, burning with the lack of air, the pain growing worse every second I work under her punishing grip.
Somebody help me.
Darkness starts to fill the edges of my vision, and soon the world fades. Okay, good. Thank you. Oh, thank you. Let me go. Keep the slider in the green bar by moving the mouse in the arrow's direction. Wait, what? By moving the mouse in the... Oh, okay, I see. No. Okay, I see. Great. Perfect. I don't think twice. My limbs were moving on their own before what I did could fully register my brain and my lungs could recover. Behind me, she lets out a cry, sharp, loud, and thunderous against the empty walls of the library. But to fear her wail spring compares nothing to relief washing over me when I finally make it out. Yes, great, perfect. Who would have gone upstairs? Maybe, I mean, if they made the same conclusion that I did, like, no, it's going to be a trick. It's not going to be that easy. My knees buckle as soon as my feet hit the pavement, its surface cold and hard against my skin. I've only been in there for a few hours, about 1 or 2 probably. I don't know anymore. It feels like an eternity, all the same. My breathing hasn't slowed down yet, and I don't expect it to go after going through that. I probably look the most undignified creature on a Sunday morning right now, out of breath, disheveled, slumped here with bloody lip and all. At present, I simply can't bring myself to care. Even a few passers-by start giving me a strange look. Stare at me all you want. I don't give a single shite. I'm alive. I'm safe. This isn't the end yet, but I'm safe. And inside my bag is something that could get us out of this mess. Nothing definite yet. I don't want to get my hopes up, but it's still something. If Isabella is here, I'm sure she'll feel the same way. She'll even be the first one who'll put her fate on it. Wherever this will lead us to is a victory and it's on. Now all that's left is to find the others, the rest of us trapped in this bloody nightmare. Right on cue, as if an answer to my previous thought, my mobile phone lets out a beep. I pick it up, simply hoping it'll be one of them. Great. Only it's a voicemail that greets me, from Ashton. There's a pang of disappointment, of course, but it brings some reassurance that nothing's happened to at least one of them.
Hey, Becca, call me back when you're free. We need to talk. ASAP.
He ends it right there. The message less than a minute long. Curtain gives nothing away. I let it ease my worries, regardless, and do as he asks. Guess this, too, is another triumph for us. One less thing to worry about. Okay, so it's October 30th. No. Oh my gosh, I got so nervous. I seriously thought that was going to be the end. I guess Rebecca could have died if I went upstairs then. What a relief. Rebecca was seen limping out of the Luxbourne Public Library late Sunday morning, checking her mobile. A lone voicemail from Ashton was in it, telling her they needed to talk ASAP. Whoa, I was so concerned. I was so concerned. Okay, great. Alright, I also want to just, double check, like, what's been happening. They have the argument. Yeah, that was with me. Yeah, the housewarming party has been, right? Oh. So Mariana's trapped now. And I thought that Mariana and Rebecca would be, like, could get together, but they didn't really meet. They only met once, I think. Or twice. Yeah. It's all about what will happen. And then Zachary's nightmare. Oh, he's been having his nightmares. And he met Kylie. Yeah, they met. Oh, and they have broken it off. Or just for now, at least. And they have had the conversation. Yeah. Right, so this is, okay, so today is the day when Zachary went all, like, crazy and went to the Ermengarde mansion, but didn't follow that strange voice. He's safe. And, okay, so that's just what's happened, right? Okay, so this is interesting. So the only thing that's happened today is that with Zachary, and now what we're playing right now, so all of the stuff that's gonna happen now will be very new. Just that's exciting. Okay, let's continue. I don't wanna know everything.